morning all. This is Farah Hijazi, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Eurasian Conference on Digitalization, Socialization, Educational Development 2023. My name is Farah Hijazi, a holder of PhD in English Linguistics from Jane Dean to be University. On behalf of the organizers, I warmly welcome you all to this event. The conference spans on 2 days, starting today, the 7th of October. And conference is organized by the Department of Journalism and Advertising at the State University of Trade and Economics in Ukraine, the Research Cultural Society, the International Scientific Research Association, and supported by the Eurasian Institute of Educational Technology. As for the organizers, they are Prof. Diana Bayvashenko and Prof. Yanina Lison, Prof. Shirag Kato, Dr. Rania Limpu, Dr. Engcharan Tongpan, and Dr. Farah Hijazi. The history of State University of Trade and Economics in Ukraine starts from Kiev branch of All Union Correspondence Institute of Soviet Trade, founded in 1949. As for the Department of Journalism and Advertising, it offers advertising masters and advertising bachelor programs. Research Culture and Society is a government-registered international scientific research organization. It's also an independent, professional, and non-profit international level organization. It initiates and sets up new educational programs with international organizations. As for the International Scientific Research Association, it's registered and an esteemed research association working on providing scientific research activities. The conference aims at observing the current scenario and trends of citizens' life in digitalization and socialization practices. It also aims at providing an interaction stage for researchers, practitioners from academia and industries to deal with state-of-the-art advancements in their respective fields. Now, let me invite our keynote speakers to share their thoughts on this occasion. Our first keynote speaker is Prof. Yanina Lison, who is a professor at the Department of Journalism and Advertising.
Hello
State
to
University of
everyone.
Trade and Economics in Ukraine.
Hello to everyone. Is everything okay with volume and you can hear me, yes? Okay. Dear guests, dear participants, we are glad to invite and to see all of you to our international conference devoted to digitalization, socialization, and educational development. And my name is Yanina Lisun, and I'm representing State University of Trade and Economic, Kiev, Ukraine, Europe, and our department, Journalism and Advertising, providing activity and also organize different conference. And many thanks to Professor Chirag Patel and our partners from Greece today also, and we're glad to join to this great meeting. And first of all, we need to remember that digital technology is very important nowadays, and we cannot organize our life and education also without this technology. And first of all, I need to remember that, and I need to tell that the number of internet users, for example, increased by last 5 years significant, and now is about and now is about 5 billion peoples, and also very important social media users, and of course we also use this technology during education. And each country has own culture and own environment and different factors make influence on this process. And of course we can talk about technical factors such as level of urbanization, quality of infrastructure of each country, availability of devices, and internet speed. Also, the next factor very important during digitalization and socialization and educational process is social demographic factors such as a variant age of the population of country, because some country have a young population, another country, mostly in Europe, has older population, yeah, and also its influence for internet behavior. Also, we can talk about income level, employment, and culture of each country. And if we are talking about digitalization in educational process, is very important. The question of cyber security, and we can talk about such, for example, level of cyber security as IT process at the higher education institution, for example, qualified IT staff. The next aspect is public administration of higher education institution, for example, cyber security of administration process and assistant staff, also academic staff. Each teacher, each scientific has own page at the university website, and own login. It's and share material and information for students, and that's why cyber security is very important. And we can talk about cyber security of students and their families, and also can remember about children as a potential target audience of the higher education institution. And our department, journalism and advertising, organize different conference, and also students awards, for example, advertising awards of international advertising competition for students every year at the autumn. That's why we invite all of you to join to our activity, and many thanks our partners today for organizing this conference. Many thanks.
Thank you, Doctor, for the invaluable information you provided regarding the digitalization. Now let me invite the other keynote speaker to provide the words. Our second keynote speaker of the day is Dr. Diana Tevashenko, who is the head at the Department of Journalism and Advertising, State University of Trade and Economics in Ukraine. Dr. Diana, would you kindly join us?
I think maybe Diana will join maybe later because she is at the university now, and we have also activity open day at the university. And if I see her here, I will tell you. But now yes, she's in process, not here.
Okay, so let's move on to the third speaker of the day. Dr. Rania Limpu, who is a STEM instructor and ICT teacher trainer at the Greek Ministry of Education in Greece. Dr. Rania, are you here to join us?
Yes, I'm here. Greetings, Grace.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, warm greetings to all from Greece. I'm very, very honored and very privileged to be here, to be invited in this great conference, the Eurasian Conference on Digitalization, Socialization, Educational Development. I would like to congratulate all organizers and especially Dr. Yamina and Dr. Chirag Patel. And of course, I would like to welcome all participants and all keynote speakers who are present today and honor us with their valuable presence. So let's start. So let's present. I'm working STEM instructor. Actually, I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation. And my topic today will be ICT integration in education, ICT tools. We're going to explore this fascinating world of ICT, and the reason I chose this topic is because many teachers ask me what specific digital tools I recommend, for example, for animation, for evaluation, for presentation. This will be the first part. Of course, we're going to discuss about of the benefits and the challenges. Already, Dr. Yamina mentioned about the challenges of the cyber world, about the cyberbullying, about the internet addiction. The second part of my presentation will be focused on a very recent research study, which was conducted in Greece in July 2023 in primary Greek schools. It has to do with teachers' perceptions about information communication technologies in primary education. And the main components of this research study will focus on emotions from using ICT, the perceived impact of ICT on society, perceived contribution of ICT to productivity, perceived effectiveness, and the impact of ICT on students. Why? Because ICT tools are important not only in initial teacher training, but also throughout the professional lives of teachers. I can say this from my personal experience, what is happening here in Greece. There is a huge need for training, especially in service teacher training. And I think the COVID pandemic showed this, that there is a great need. There were teachers who could not switched on the computers during the COVID pandemic. And of course, during this period, we have seen that the global rate of educational app downloads grew up to 90%. And also the interest in educational apps and software spiked and showed the way to continuous learning even though tough times. So now we'll share my presentation. If you allow me. Okay, can you see now my presentation? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. So we talk about educational technology, tech, and all these ICT tools which actually allow to enter a new world full of easily accessible information to facilitate the learning environment, to promote the process of meaningful learning and allow the development of new ways of learning and teaching. So this actually, especially when we talk about higher education, they make lectures more efficient, they improve remote access, and they build practice behaviors and skills. How? We can take the example of virtual reality. Virtual reality is ideal actually for giving learners access to skill-based and behavioral learning opportunities, especially for situation environments that are, for instance, dangerous or difficult to replicate in real life. VR can replicate almost any scenario to create challenging, realistic simulations of difficult situations where our learners might struggle to know how to react and then coach them through strategies, techniques, and behaviors they can apply in real life. And of course, this could relate to professional experiences like giving a presentation, answering interview questions, explore complex objectives like empathy, building around issues of bias, discrimination, etc. And also transforming education. The main functionalities of ICT in education is how to promote digital literacy, digital administration of any educational institution, communication with families, all the main learning platforms today help have this actually this efficiency to communicate with parents, with families, communicate with the environment, and of course enable the networking between professors from different countries. So the advantages of ICT tools is actually they're cost efficient, they improve the mode communication, they minimize cost, save time. Teachers are able to teach better with graphics and video, they can create interesting, well-designed, engaging classroom activities. They can spread awareness about the social impact of technological change. They can provide better teaching learning methods. And of course, brings something that brings inclusion, facilitates e-learning, online learning, motivates learning, encourages collaboration, and what we call differentiated learning. On the other hand, the disadvantages, of course, it is this fear, for instance, of AI. This has started to happen, actually. We have seen in many countries, AI has started to replace workers. Of course, if you ask me about teachers, I think that artificial intelligence can never replace a teacher, but it's something that is happening in other fields. So this is one fear. Of course, another challenge is lack of security, privacy. Privacy data are all the time constantly violated, and I think we are all more or less victim of this. Cyberbullying here in Greece, we have very high rates of this. Actually, educators are not very well trained to handle this because now we're faced with this challenge to be at the same time to be advisors, to be psychologists, to be mentors. The reliance of technology, social media, and the need to be prepared also, preparation time, as we say. So how to use ICT tools in the classroom? Of course, we need to establish a starting point, integrate formative evaluation into key learning areas, literacy and numeracy, planning for progress, and always we need to have in mind the evidence-based learning. So evidence-based is very important. After COVID, I think that the most popular structure learning moving forward was a combination of in-person and online delivery. So blended learning promises to actually revolutionize mass teaching methods with more flexible access, enhanced and more engaging learning experiences. So I think institutions need blended learning actually is here to stay. Institutions need a proactive strategic approach to blended learning design that selects expertly crafted and curated digital resources on the basis of their ability to support specific learning outcomes. So virtual reality, for instance, we talk about this, are a powerful addition to blended learning curriculum to deliver a scalable learning center, performance-focused experience that challenge students to think differently and achieve behavioral goals. So before presenting the ICT tools that I mentioned before, I want to say about Greece, what is happening here in our ministry. A digital educational policy to create national policy for digital education content. This has to do, actually, all our textbooks are digitalized here, primary secondary education. And what we try to do is to develop open, reusable learning objects covering a wide spectrum of various educational objectives of primary secondary education. We have an interactive books portal, which serves as official portal of the Greek ministry and distributes the digital school textbooks. And actually what we're trying to do is to promote open educational resources, promote reusing, remixing, and repurposing of existing digital learning resources, improve the digital infrastructure in order to facilitate retrieval, access, and utilization of digital resources for all. And focus on what I said before, the creation of reusable units of learning. And as many countries dispose what we call learning object repository, we have a Photodato. Photodato is a learning object repository, which actually enables teachers, for instance, to upload their lesson plans. So we have actually is a tank with million resources uploaded by teachers, ready lesson plans, which are well organized and implemented during the classroom. And this also, Photodato ecosystem hosts videos, hosts also projects uploaded by students. Students, they also have this possibility. We have a platform which is called EME. EME has the characteristics of an educational platform with social media characteristics. It's like, would you say, characteristics of Facebook, but in a strictly educational environment. And this gives the possibility of students to communicate with, of course, to interact with the students, parents, etc. The possibility to host videos, to upload learning resources. We have what we call Greek National Educational Content Aggregator, which harvests and accumulates educational metadata for various repositories and collections from libraries, from museums. And also, as I said before, hosts open learning objects. Open learning objects are small, semantically, functionally autonomous, reusable resources tagged with the educational metadata. It's a huge project, of course. This needs required huge funding, and still it's something that it needs, of course, maintenance. And every year we update it with new efficiency. During the COVID pandemic, it was used actually, WebEx platform was used, the National School Network was reactivated, also educational television was reactivated, addressed to primary school students. So now, teachers asked me many times what kind of tools are used in the classroom, which of them are free, which are need subscription, things like that. So if we talk about blended learning, for instance, Edpuzzle, it's actually allows educators to flip the classroom or lesson by editing a video, adding questions, EduFlow, FlipSnack also is another popular tool which aids to build your own classroom in which you can add new lessons or upload existing ones where students can create and share projects, or Go Class, where also you can create digital lessons, blend learning, etc. And also iCivics, a free platform for teaching civics through multiple resources and through various approaches. Khan Academy, it's actually here users learn at their own pace through interactive exercise and videos. Of course, as it is for developer literacy, for primary schools to talk about animation, making video, how to help students in primary education to learn blogging. And we talk about quiz, especially we have also a wide variety of tools. We mentioned, I think the most popular is Kahoot. Children are thrilled with this because it's very engaging. Class tools, Genial, Google Forms, Flipgrid is also very popular. Flubaroo, and also for formative, and I think more or less we are all familiarized with this kind of tools. And if we talk about the presentation, Badzi aims to actually to help create and it's actually a communication tool for students and educators to create interactive content and allowing people actually of all ages, not only children, to visualize concepts and communicate creatively. Prezi Mentimeter, which engage students, for instance, using live polls or word clouds, quizzes, multiple choice questions, and more. we talk about Google Classroom. Google Classroom, it's a virtual classroom that makes learning easy and fun, because teachers can integrate educational apps or websites, create interactive assignments, and there you can include a slideshow, small game, or a YouTube video. This way, of course, this means access to information anytime, anywhere, multi-activity management, means extensive material, enable discussion during classes, easy grading, organization of students, and communication, of course, with parents. I forgot to say also the environmental impact, because it's an eco-friendly way of learning. So we could see that it's an all-in-one tool where educators, students, and classes can engage together in lessons and coursework. Here in Greece, we have developed our own Google e-class, which has similar possibilities. Google Classroom is related to Nearpod, actually, which also increases functionality to save educators time by allowing them to assign lessons, to review reports, to record grades within a Google Classroom from any device. So students can join Nearpod lessons from Classroom without needing to enter in the code. And this allows actually to access the Nearpod lessons and then add them as an assignment, a quiz assignment or question, or assign Nearpod lessons in live or student-based modes, add important point values, due dates, instructions, or grade Nearpod lessons in Google Classroom. And view possession reports, all these amazing functionalities. So be creative. I think that this is the most interesting part, especially primary education. Storyboard is an amazing tool to create digital storytelling, to create books. Pixton is very important to create digital comics. Model for word clouds, Canva. I think we all know how to use this. And for online collaboration, for many years was it Modo. I think now it is not anymore, but it has characteristics of educational platform combined with social media features. IC tools for videos also, Animaker, Go Noodle, Master, all these amazing tools. For a mind map brainstorming that I think most of us we experiment with this. Xmind is Cobble, it's very, very common and easy to use. Time toes to talk about timelines, and this help us, especially in the lesson of history, to create amazing timelines. Time Blender, amazing platform, Cramo, IC tools for lesson series, Guru. It's interesting to explore this or test it, which is used to create digital lessons. Of course, we don't have time to analyze all that. HP Reveal, something that I use with my students for augmented virtual reality, Glass Dojo, and also iRubric. iRubric actually helps to create rubrics. Wizard Voice Thread helps to send a voice message. If we talk, of course, software platforms like Zoom, like Microsoft Teams, and we talk about coding. Someone who wants to be familiarized with online coding and is a beginner, he can visit these websites, DataCamp, HackerRank, or CoderByte. Now, especially talk about specific subjects. For every subject, we have a variety of tools, and most of them are for free. So there's no excuse if we're not experimenting with this. If you talk about geography, for instance, Google Maps is one of the real game changer for teachers, because teachers can use Google Maps to help students to build tours, to measure distances, look at directions, and compare different kinds of maps. Therefore, teachers can make use of fantastic possibilities available in Google Maps. The Ordnance Survey, students can practice map skills, can play geography-related games, use Geographic Information System, GIS, to learn more about the world. Google Lit Trips, it's something which combines, actually it's a blend of literature with geography. Geo Challenge is a fun and challenging geography, a quiz game with a variety of beautiful graphics and animation to test your geography knowledge of the world. Maps of World Planet Geography app, which has 6 interactive games challenging for students. And the GeoB Challenge, actually developed by National Geographic, is an app for kids aged 9 to 13 years old. And kids can use it as an assessment tool to test the knowledge of the world geography and identify location on a world map by answering multiple choice questions, by tapping locations on a world map and identifying locating landmarks. If we talk about mathematics, we all know that the way that science is taught today is very boring and uninteresting, and this causes children to lose their interest in science. So if we talk about mathematics, we know that this educational technology can help reverse the situation. GeoGebra is very popular here in Greece, actually a dynamic mathematics software for all levels of education that brings together geometry, algebra, spreadsheets, graphing, statistics, calculus in one and easy to use, we could say, package. So interactive teaching and learning resources created with GeoGebra can be shared and used by everyone. There are also stepping stones. Geometry pad is important because geometry is excluded, is actually it's underestimated in the curriculum of many countries. So if we use this as a tool in order to make geometry more attractive, that could be very interesting. Globaloria learning math through games, a great educational tool. Fluid Math, Dragon Box, and other also tools. If we focus on physics, physics, I think the most popular is Effect for Interactive Simulation. It's a project at the University of Colorado. It's a non-profit open educational resource project. It's very, very popular. It offers amazing interactive simulations. Other softwares, other applications are electrons, for instance, is a particle simulator, which allows you to observe particle interactions, to create, for instance, a cathode or a tube, better visualize difficult to grasp concepts. Bob explores light, or Gravity Lab. Gravity Lab allows to create your own universe, to simulate the collision of massive bodies, to explain how momentum is observed. So I think it's a great tool to understand more about physics and how gravity affects the universe. Simple Physics Particle Zoo is based on the popular Particle Zoo plushes and many other tools. So for every subject, foreign language teaching also, there are many tools, timelines I mentioned before, for audio, Audacity for blogging. And if we come now to virtual augmented reality, is another chapter, which is, of course, very, it has caused debates nowadays, very recently, especially in the European Union. So this contains virtual field trips. This way students can travel different cities, countries, and cultures, all without even needing to leave the classroom. Offer time and cost-effective option for schools, and students can travel anywhere at the click of a button. It can help us explore conceptual subjects, so difficult subjects can become more easy to understand, especially biology. Biology, usually teachers use virtual reality in order to show the cells and other components of the human body. So in this way, we can bring conceptual subjects to life. And of course, help develop computing technology skills, actually in immersive group learning. And this can help us become more innovative. The cases of the software, which is called CoSpaces, and it has some possibilities here. You can see key applications, you can create exhibitions, game simulations, stories. It can be implemented to any subject, for instance, STEM coding for social sciences, for language and literature. Vantage World is the first educational virtual reality thematic park. And if we talk about STEM, which is my expertise, STEM is important because we are the third part of the fifth industrial revolution. And the fifth industrial revolution means that we needed to prepare students for the future, at the same time with the internationalization. So we talk about a new curriculum, Education 5.0, new challenges, and all these new trends on Education 5.0, that learning can be taking place anytime, anywhere, that learning can be personalized. This means that students should be taken into consideration when we design the curriculum, their interest, their rhythm, their age. Students will be exposed to more hands-on practical activities, problem solving. So STEM is related to hands-on, related to problem solving, different methods of assessment, evaluation, which is actually great concern, is issue of great concern, because so far we don't have global frameworks for evaluation. We don't have frameworks to help us how to evaluate a STEM project, which is actually something which is hands-on. So we need more training frameworks about this. Competitive STEM skills is important in what we call knowledge-intensive economy. STEM focus on inquiry, student-led investigation, so real-life problems, hands-on activities, helping students to become out-of-the-box thinkers and creators. And all this STEM philosophy is based on what we call inquiry-based learning. It's a process of how to reorientate, to ask questions, to generate hypotheses, formulate hypotheses, invest, interpret, explore, create models. And of course, this is related to 5E and 7E models. And the inquiry learning cycle, I want to investigate and record, I think, I try, I reflect. So the characteristics of STEM educated students is that they are problem solvers, they are innovators, they are inventors, they are self-reliant, they are logical thinkers. And STEM education, of course, reflects the 4 C's that we call creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, communication. If we add A, we have STEAM, because arts are very important. It's impossible to teach science if you don't use art, especially in primary education. And also, we need to emphasize the value of arts alongside technical skills. So we need blended skills, actually. That's why nowadays, the new trend is all around the world, what we call integrated STEM. It's the combination of 2 more cognitive disciplines. In one project, this is the magic of STEM. You can involve many cognitive disciplines and so develop skills from different subjects. All this inspired makerspace movement that could be a library, that could be a place where 3D printers and allows students to use their hands in order to create something. So this is important because students are not passive consumers of technology. They are producers. They produce their own device. We give her a problem, for instance, climate change problem, and they ask them to create a device, a product, in order to help solve this problem. Because let's not forget the Sustainable Development Goals are related to STEM, and especially the agenda of United Nations 2030. So complex programs like hunger, like climate change, all this poverty are related to STEM and how STEM can help solve these problems, especially in developing countries. There are 2 categories of STEM: STEM unplugged, which actually it's STEM when you don't have to use the technology or coding, but you can use simply everyday materials, but you need to follow the computational thinking process. So this means that we need to bring computational thinking in our classroom. It's how to solve authentic problems, how to design systems. It has a multifaceted nature. Teachers, even in kindergarten, they use computational thinking. They just don't know that it's computational thinking. When they teach steps or processes to students, they don't know that it's computational thinking. So it's something that's contained in most elements of problem solving in the lesson plan. And the components of computational thinking, the main component is decomposition. Solving a problem involves solving a set of smaller problems. How seeing a problem is related to problems previously encountered. Seeing a problem at different levels of details, and the tendency to see tasks in terms of smaller connected discrete steps. The trend also is around the world also now physical computing. When we give it to our students, for instance, Arduino and Raspberry and these kind of devices, and we ask them to solve a problem. So this is very challenging and attractive. Why? Because it combines the physical world with the digital world. Students take measurements, for instance, of pressure, humidity inside the classroom or the house, and then they have to program and create a new product, a new it's something that could help us solve a problem. So physical computing takes the computational concepts into the real world. And this is the magic. When we talk about four pedagogical stages of learning and computational thinking, this includes unplugged making, tinkering, and remixing. And now I'm here to 3D printing. I had the chance to participate here in Greece in a European competition, and I won an Ultimaker Plus 3D printer many years before. It was one of the first public schools here which contained 3D printer. So why this is important? Because actually we shift from passive consumers to prosumers. It's what I said before. We are now able to both produce and consume objects on demand. We have 3D printing communities online. So through these online communities, 3 digital files can rapidly be distributed through online platforms and they become viral. So this it actually represents a democratization of manufacturing processes, and of course now it's the prices also have dropped, so it's actually inexpensive printed parts for cell culture. The European Union promotes a lot of this. There are many European programs that you can explore in order to see how we can integrate 3D printing in the classroom, especially when we talk about art and culture. This combination is very trendy. For instance, children, they can print monuments, they can print landmarks, things like that. So this way, children gain repair mindset, experience prototyping, the 3D production. They identify the sense of maker movement and culture, I said before. They enrich the lessons with new technology. They bolster digital engagement at school. They build design thinking, very important. And they get familiar with all these 3D modeling websites. Here is what I'm doing, is one activity that I'm doing in the Greek ministry. The Greek ministry launched before 2 years a workshop for students from primary, secondary schools that come to the ministry, and I train them on STEM, doing some STEM activities. Children are very enthusiastic. One activity is I have a 3D printer which is not a bottle, it's actually handmade. So I invite students to disassemble and reassemble the components of the 3D printer. So this way, it's an excellent way to learn on their own how 3D printer works. Because through this activity, they can learn how to assemble, how to create their own 3D printer. So this actually creates excitement. Because offers students the ability to experience the project from the model stage to actual creation. Complements, of course, the curriculum, give access to knowledge, new possibilities for learning, and promotes problem-solving skills. About the strategies to teach STEM, of course, it's hands-on learning, mini labs, how to build models, field trips, mobile apps, many, of course, organization, science clubs, science exhibitions. Children love this. So here is an example I want to say before continuing. It's an example here in Greece. Primary school students created a company, a virtual company. They divide the roles. One was the director, the other one was the advertiser, things like that. They created through STEM, through Arduino, STEM technology, a pair of glasses addressed to people with visual impairment. And then they went out to community, they sold this product, they presented to mayors, they presented to companies, and also to parents. So what is the magic here of this STEM project? It's actually, first, it promotes entrepreneurial skills, because children learn learn how to cultivate entrepreneurship skills. The second one is, of course, STEM technology. And the third one, it's community-based learning, because they reach out to community, to mayor, to parents, as I said before, all key stakeholders, because community-based learning is important in educational learning process. Now it's also a new way of teaching and learning when we involve all the community. So educational technology promotes STEM education, what I said before, machine learning, also AI, cloud computing, Internet of Things. We talk about Internet of Me. Internet of Me, it's actually wearable technology, smart watches, smart clothes that we can use. They're very exciting learning process. game development or cloud computing can help you simulate whole virtual worlds. And AI, I think I don't have time to analyze AI, but I have presented already another presentation. Nowadays also we talk about STEMAC. STEMAC includes cultural studies. By including cultural studies in STEM curriculum, we try to produce professionals who are more globally aware, cultural sensitive, and able to adapt to different environments. Yes, STEM is technology, is science, but this have to go along with values of tolerance, of empathy, of altruism, of compassion. So STEMAC comes to unite different cultures and tries to create active citizens. Citizens who are sensitive, cultural sensitive, tolerant, and this has to do also with peaceful attitudes. So strategy for STEM in arts and culture has to do with collaboration, establishing partnership. The curriculum development should include hands-on activities, real-world problem solving, prepare students for the future, integrate the technology, the teacher training, of course, create opportunities for experiential learning, through project-based learning, through collaboration with industries. This misperception that academia should not collaborate with industries, which is very wrong. We take into consideration the hackathons. Here we organize hackathons. We invite students to invent their own devices, and then the best devices are selected by companies, and companies make this a product. So actually, this way, young people, talented people, become rich and famous at the very young age through the hackathons. We become innovative and inventors through this kind of competitions. So community engagement, I said before, for public events, workshops, and exhibitions, and all this vision, how this needs, of course, teacher training, promote cooperation with associations, and also mobile learning apps and everything, robotics. Very many computer science teachers are doing, are preparing on a volunteer basis after the school curriculum, preparing students for the national Olympiads. And now here in Greece, we have many winners who have won the national Olympiads and European competition robotics, thanks to this kind of teachers who are doing this on a volunteer basis, and sometimes they pay on their own the robotics equipment. Of course, the gender gap, we all know in STEM, still women are underrepresented in this field. Here is how I got involved. I want to show you some of these tools I mentioned before. I had a chance to participate in an innovative program, which was organized by CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, and it was funded by Creation European Reinforcement Program. You can see this the structure, the particle detector. It is located at CERN, the instructor, and this is what the students did. We used a 3D printer, 100 hours for assembling printing. We simulate the CMS experiment with LED flash circuit, LED sensor circuit. We use experience element before augmented reality CMS detector, because the CMS particle experiment was the goal. Students have to work on this. Virtual galleries, digital books, interactive quiz I mentioned before, created electric generators with the use of breadboard quiz using Scratch, a whole course of particle physics using the platform CRAM, using flashcards and games, collaborative canvas, timelines, a huge project which represents the history of particle physics from Marie Curie till today. For instance, here you can find the text, you can find links, video, etc., all about this scientist. And apart from this, I'm also the founder of many innovative STEM projects which are addressed to underprivileged children in Africa and Asia. A huge challenge because how to teach STEM, how to teach about water awareness to students who don't have school supplies, to students who are thirsty. So my first challenge was to design activities that actually had to do with STEM Unplugged. So STEM, where you can use natural resources. So students perform water experiments, they use everything that they had at their disposal around them. They learn how to sanitize and filter the water. This was very important. They created models of both mind maps using branches of trees, things like that. It had a great social impact because we managed to obtain sanitation filter equipment. We managed to build 6 wells well drilled also in these areas. My message to teachers is, even if we don't have the necessary technological equipment, still we can do miracles. The previous project I mentioned before about CERN, I had few challenges. First of all, I had to redesign the curriculum because it doesn't include modern physics. So I had to be innovative to select materials that would be interesting to my students. I didn't have always a technological room, free technological room. I had to do with children who are coming from low economic background, so I have to pay from my own pocket the materials of the projects. Also, parents told me that I don't want my child at the age of 7 years old to learn particle physics, all the challenges. But throughout the year, at the end of the academic year, when the parents saw that all the amazing amazing projects the students have done, all my students told me that I want to be a physicist, I want to go to CERN. This was the success of the program. And the objective is to make children love science and technology at an early age. This is the objective. Another project actually also STEM, but STEM Unplugged, which actually has social impacts about food awareness, healthy food combination in case of food shortage, and other ones about gender-based violence, etc. In Nigeria, I'm trying also to encourage women in STEM, girls in STEM, and create an educational video, which was awarded in the European Competition Diversity STEM, a STEM Alliance, and was represented in national television. It's actually the portraits of 13 women. Recently I launched for my position a Greek Ministry of Education and Environmental project, which combines environmental awareness, arts and STEM education, aims to sensitize students towards climate change. For all this project, have won over 200 awards. I was selected among the best teachers in the world with Global Teacher Prize and Global Teacher Award. And now the second part of my presentation, and I will try to be brief. It's a very, very recent study. That's why it's interesting. It was conducted here in Greece. Actually, the topic is ICT in primary education, teachers' perception. And this study was data from 285 questionnaires were statistically analyzed using discrete statistics, principal components analysis, correlation, and regression analysis. The main results were in alliance with relevant literature. And this has to do the components before self-efficacy, perception, and demographics of ICT use in the learning process. In order to collect data for the research, the 7-point Likert scale questionnaire was developed. The questionnaire development was based on the evidence provided in the relevant literature. And what was the demographics? Respondents' demographic provided the needed information regarding the sample and its representativeness. Almost all participants were female. And this is why, because in Greece, primary school teachers are usually women. More than half of them hold a master's degree, a fact that actually indicates a high level of education. The majority hold certification in ICT, and this shows that they largely adopt ICT. Most of the participants were over 45 years old, and the majority use ICT frequently in the classroom. And we're going to see that they have also experience of 15 years old and more. The 4 components I mentioned before, it's about emotions, the impact, contribution, effectiveness, and I want to talk about the emotions, and generally the teachers showed a particular interest in the use of technologies to acquire new knowledge. The teachers are generally said that they're not afraid that ICT will lead them to lose their skills, while at the same time they don't think that ICT will reduce people's creativity. The contribution, most of them, they think that they actually consider ICT knowledge as a valuable skill, and they recognize contribution of ICT to help them learn more things and support them in almost all subject areas. And also, however, they do not agree that ICT actually increase the productivity. About the teachers who claim to be aware of the opportunities offered by ICT, and also about the impact. The majority of them believe that ICT helps students to successfully seek knowledge information for their education. About self-efficiency, ICT use was considered considered as a 7-point Likert scale variable, referring to the frequency of ICT use in educational practice. And this, I said before, that there was a high level of adoption. The effectiveness, the use of ICT contributes positively to learning process. This was the result, and all the teachers also have a statistically significant effect on their use during the educational process. And to conclude the remarks, we found that in comparison to what was happening before, more and more teachers now, especially young teachers, use ICT tools. Another concluding remark of this study is that we need to develop more primary education center application softwares. This means for preschool and also for children of 6 to 12 years old. And another also thing is that has to do with the public schools, to promote more public schools in comparison to private schools. If we talk about curriculum also, curriculum designs must develop a new curriculum in a way that ICT will have a central role in educational activities. So before concluding, I want to say now, I was in a conference recently which had to do with 3D printing and cultural awareness. One friend of mine who is responsible in European Union about funding European programs, school programs, she told me that she has at her disposal 2 billion to give to schools in order to implement AI, artificial intelligence programs. So this period, this summer in July, there were some countries like Sweden who say that they want to remove any kind of digital tool from the classroom. This has caused huge debates in the European Union. It's actually a shock in a period when the European Union had $2 billion to give. There are countries who say we ban totally digital technology from our classrooms. And we're talking about the country, Sweden, who was highly tech-savvy. And why? Because during this period, they realized that their students actually had poor performances because tablets were used all the time, that their handwriting skills, reading skills, science skills, mathematical skills, and things were dropped. And they had low performances during the competitions of PISA and any other competitions. Netherlands is following the same paradigm, and other also countries. So it's actually digital de-escalation possible. You have to think about all this. If you ask my opinion about this, I would say that banning something is not the solution. Banning artificial intelligence is not a solution. What I'm trying to do is to combine both, combine traditional learning, traditional methods. Literacy and numeracy is the number one, and secondly, supplementary is technology. You have to find the golden recipe. The golden recipe is this, the combination of both. If, of course, artificial intelligence, remember this, cannot replace teacher, but teachers who know about artificial intelligence can replace teachers who don't know artificial intelligence. So you are threatened not from artificial intelligence, you are threatened from not being willing to learn about artificial intelligence. So I have to stop here because the time is limited.
Yes, many thanks to Professor Rania
Thank you very much,
Greece
Dr.
for
Rania.
her time, for very interesting presentation. And I would like to add also that our university, State University of Trade and Economic, we use also, we have a virtual library and have this like a virtual glass for students. We use, for example, when students have like libraries classes, laboratories classes, and they can use this virtual glass. And also university installed in the whole of university big screen, and you can touch and find department, find some information what is interesting. And I agree with Rania that we need to combine both tools, digital tools, and we need to explain people and young person that family is also very important and need to organize our life and our behavior and our study to combine both of this area. Thank you, dear colleague Rania. And
Thank you very much. Yes, I want to add here, I want to give you a shocking example. What happens in Greece, we have 500 children who are hospitalized because they have internet addiction. They can't be detached from the computer. They don't go to the toilet. They wear Pampers because they cannot, be detached by the computer. So this is alarming. It's not only Greece, we have high rates in comparison to other European countries. I think in other countries this is happening. Internet addiction is a huge problem, and this starts from parents. This starts from family. Reducing screening time is a responsibility of families, and then after comes to educators and teachers and counselors. So this is my opinion. First is the family. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and wish you all the best for this great conference.
and
Thank
I
you,
would
Mrs.
like
Yasmina.
to
Thank you, Dr. Diana. Thank you,
you very
Dr.
much.
Yes, I would
Sirotari.
like to invite our head of our department, Diana Favishenko, State University of Trade and Economics, and head of Department of Journalism and Advertising. And Diana will speak in Ukrainian language. I will translate the main aspects of her speech. Please, Diana, запрошуємо вас. Diana. Connection is. Не чуємо вас.
Так. День. Чутно?
Трошки зависає, ну зараз
Скажіть,
нормально. Да.
вітаю всіх. Чутно?
Так, так.
Вітаю, пані Яніна. Дозвольте, ви будете перекладачем. Хочу говорити українською як представник України. Пані Яніна, чутно?
Так, так. Hello to everyone. Yes, we are representing Ukraine, and that's why our native language, Ukraine, Indiana, sends greetings to all from our country. Diana. Далі.
Хочу подякувати нашим організаторам. Пані Раня, Греція, я дуже вам дякую за цікавий виступ.
Many thanks to our colleagues
Команді директорів, які приєдналися, організували,
Many thanks to our colleagues
приєднали таку спільноту.
from Greece. Many thanks
Yes.
to
Також
our
хочу
main organizer, Dr. Chirag Patel, for this organizes this meeting, this great community, and we always glad to join and to share our knowledge and our experience for all people. Diana.
Так, Чирак Пател, дуже вам теж дякуємо за організацію наукової спільноти. Це дуже важливо для України. Ви знаєте, Україна бореться. Дякуємо, що ви підтримуєте їх. Дякуємо, що ми можемо виступати, піднімати цікаві теми. Zero. Яніна?
Так, many thanks to all guests, and we know Ukraine now has difficult time. We are in war, we are fighting, and for us very important to organize educational process, and sometimes we have difficulties with internet connection. That's why in such times we realized and understand important of communication, important of life, and of course the meaning of digital technologies in our life. And Diana.
Наш університет, кафедра журналістики та реклами, вона займається саме діджитал-журналістикою, діджитал і
Thank you for being with us. Our next presentation session number 1 will start after 45 minutes from now.